most amazing thing that I've ever done was to breastfeed my daughter. This is my persuasive speech about breastfeeding. It is a woman's prerogative to breastfeed or not to breastfeed. It is not the family's decision. It is not the spouse's decision, but it would have to work for that woman. For me, it worked for me. When I heard all of the wonderful benefits of breastfeeding my baby, um, I just couldn't wait after I got the information that I received from nursing, from reading pamphlets, and also the information about milk. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the information about weight loss. Um, I lost an extremely a lot of weight after delivering my child. I found that with the breastfeeding, all of the antibodies and everything was going to the baby, which made the baby healthier. My family deals with both sides of my family. My mom and my dad deals with um, asthma and high blood pressure. Also, on my dad's side of the family, it was type 2 diabetes. Um, I have type 2 diabetes. So during the time that I was breastfeeding my daughter, I didn't get it. And I didn't have the gestational diabetes. So it was a wonderful thing. When we first started and she latched on, I didn't know that it was something that was going to be so amazing, something so precious. Just to look at that face and see that that child had to rely on me for its nutrients. I love that moment. A lot of the information that was being sent out saying that a working mother couldn't do it and the father wouldn't be able to help feed in the baby daily feedings wasn't true at all. Um, when I was at work, I, w- I was able to pump milk into the bottle using a pump. I was able to, take 10, 15 minutes to do that. And my employer didn't mind. I would go inside of a little room and it was quiet, it was personal. I could pump at least two bottles, and when I got home in the evening time and my husband wanted to feed the baby, he would just pull out the bottle and he would feed our daughter. So it's a total myth about people saying, um, that no one can help. I know when I first went back to work, my mom was trying to help me out, and the baby was so latched to me because of the latching of the breast. She had a hard time with my daughter. She cried a lot, and it was about just you're my mom. You can put her on your chest so that she, get your scent, and it's okay. And when you feed her close to your chest, so that with the bottle, you feed her close to your chest, so that she'll get the feeling of closeness, and she's not afraid. So the other part I wanted to talk about was the 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 bad things that they say breastfeeding was, in which I don't believe it's bad. I just believe that it's to it depends on the parents. Is the formulas that is being sold behind the counters with all of the like Similac or Isomil, stuff like that. I never really agreed with it because you don't know what it's made from. I never read the label, but anything that's in a can that's sitting on a shelf can't be healthy for your baby. Um, but a lot of people do it, so to each his own. The other part is just knowing that when your baby comes off of your breast milk, for me, after 7 months, both, I had two children, so both of my children stopped nursing. For me, it was a little hard at first because we went from the breast to a sippy cup. And even with the sippy cup, I wouldn't do um, whole milk and I wouldn't do juices. I would still pump into the sippy cups. So once they decided they didn't want the breast anymore. So a lot of these things actually help the baby and my kids with their immune system. They didn't get colds as much up until they were 5 years old and they went to school. Um, they didn't get colds as much, no ear infection, they weren't colic. So there was wonderful benefits as to breastfeeding my babies. And I say every woman that's out there, it would be up to you. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do. It will be up to you of whether or not you want to breastfeed or whether or not you want to use over the counter milk. So, thank you for listening. Bye.